Let's just do Chazorah for a minute. And Nussen's talking about the ability that a Jew has to see beyond the present situation that he's in, and to be mevakel himself to the Tachlis, Hashem. And in doing so, a person is able to overcome the pain that comes with the Yisurim of being in this world. Closing the eyes, being asleep. These are all ways, either while awake or while sleeping, of bittul el tachlis. The sleep of a Jew is a time of bittul el tachlis. During that time of sleep, or when a person is awake, but he's strong in being able to close his eyes to this world and to be taken by the tzaddik to the state sof into the field of vision, to see past all these Yisurim and all the sorrows. The person who's able to do that can be boreach, Rabbi Nosson explains, can escape all of the bilbulim, all the confusion, all the tsar, all the Yisurim of this world. Of course, Rabbi Nachman and Rabbi Nosson explained that the problem is that there's only so much that a person can do that, and there's only so long that one can sustain such a vision. But we're human beings, and even the greatest tzaddik wakes up and is forced back into the world. That's the reality of Adam Hazeh. And because of that, in the morning when a person wakes up, the first thing that we do is we wash our hands. Rabbi Nosson is explaining this din of neglavas, of washing our hands, because when one returns from that state of bittul el tachlis, so then all of the bulim, all of the dinim pounce upon the person, pounce upon him. When he comes back from a place of clarity, of bittul el tachlis, and all of the bulim pounce upon him. And therefore the washing of the hands has in it the koach of washing one's hands with the waters of Torah, ein mayim elo Torah. The hands, of course, are always a symbol of here and now. It's the opposite of bittul el tachlis. The koachos of tumah attack the person when he wakes up in the morning, attached as it says in the Shahidush, attaches itself to the hands, the klei hamayis of the person. The washing of the hands in the morning enables the person to be mamshich tahara, to draw pureness, to draw tahara from the rishinu, call it a memory, call it the residue of that experience that he had while he was batal al tachlis. And as a result of that, we learn that the person is able to learn Torah with this chadshus specific, and to be mechadish chidusha Torah, which offsets the pain and the suffering of being back in reality. Chidusha Torah, we learned last week that Rabbi Nosson explains, doesn't only mean someone who's a lamda and can say fancy Torah. It means that any Jew who's able to find his chadshus and the chiyas and his learning and his avodas Hashem and his mitzvahs, that's all called chidusha Torah. And when a person does that, and in the act of learning Torah, we are connecting again to that experience of bittul el tachlis, because that's where the Torah takes us. That's where his chadshus and Torah takes a person to that place. And therefore, all of the mitzvahs of the morning, which he doesn't touches upon, he doesn't really go into it here. He goes into it separately, Hilchos Tefillin and Hilchos Tzitzis and Kriyas Shema in the morning. He talks more about it in each of those halachas. But the whole morning, the avodah of the morning is an avodah of tapping in to that sod of bittul el tachlis, And then Rabbi Nosson began to explain Chanukah, which he's going to go back to. He began to explain Chanukah, that the light of Chanukah The light of Chanukah is the or of the regime of that experience of Bittul HaTachlis. It's the side of Kinei Mitzvah, the Torah or. Kinei Mitzvah, the Torah or means the whole Tachlis of Yovan, of the Malchus of Yovan, was Lashkicham Torah Sech, to cause a Jew to feel distant from his Chachas and Torah, to cause a Jew to forget those moments that he had that were clear, where he saw beyond the present, to cause a Jew to forget that. And when a Jew forgets that, then he falls into a place of Yesh, despair, because this world is terrible for Jews, for the most part. It's been hard. So he could slip back into that misery. The Yevanim therefore don't have to kill us. They weren't set on murdering us. It's not where they came from. Their inyan was to cut us off from that otherworldly experience where a Jew would no longer be able to see me'ev, beyond this world. And once you lock up a Jew in this world, together with the tzaros that we have, then it's not necessary to murder them. They'll drop the Yiddishkeit on their own, which is exactly what was happening. And if not for the Chashmonai, Lulei Hashem Shahayalom, what would it have been? If not for the Chashmonai, because the Chashmonai, what were they Megala? The Chashmonai were Megala that whenever there's tzaros, whenever Chas v'sholom there's tzaros, Ein Eitzah. There's no Eitzah. The only Eitzah the Jew has is Limsar Nafshai Liyisbatal Al Tachlis. To be Moshe Nefesh, and to not look at the reality in front, because if they would have seen the reality in front of them, a family, one family, and from the numbers that we see, based upon the history of that period, the presence of the Syrian Greeks not just fell, we're talking about 17,000, 25,000 soldiers. So to make a rational decision to start a war against a Malchus of Yavan by a family of Jews who were yeshiva bachar, not like in the cartoons they make them look like Hercules or something, and to make a milchama like that, it's only because there's only one Eitzah, and the Eitzah is listim in Sinai, to shut the eyes, like everyone else keeps on saying, the chazka, to close the eyes, Mila Shem Elai, with Amunah, with tapping into that place beyond the here and now, washing our hands, his chachas, chiyas, and Torah, and so on, and to be asleep, to make oneself asleep to the frightening reality that he sees in front of him. Now, what Rabbi Nosson, beginning, we're up to Eis Daled in the Torah. We have to move fast to get back to Chanukah, because Rabbi Nosson explains here, but we see this before Chanukah, the whole Seder of the Shtalshus of Am Yisrael. The real problem we had was in Mitzrayim, because in Mitzrayim we were having terrible sorrows, but we didn't have the Torah yet. So we were held back from Chidushei Torah, from his chachas and learning, his chachas and Torah. We didn't have all of our simcha and our ability to close our eyes to the world comes because we have the Torah. So what happened in Mitzrayim? So let's go this problem very quickly. Look at this Dalet. Al Kain. You have it? Al Kain. Tilsa Dain. Shachas Dalet. Seif Dalet. Al Kain Ika Kavos Torah Hayali De Bechina Zayis. And we were able to make the Torah came through this. They show how you tchila b'tzar gedol of Mitzrayim. So we were in a terrible tzara. Now, remember, the only way to get out of a tzara is to move ourselves to the tachlis abitl. So Moshe Rabbeinu saw that his people were in a terrible tzara, and Moshe Rabbeinu's avodah was to move himself to tachlis abitl. So the humility of Moshe Rabbeinu, Rabbi Nosson sees as a manifestation of that koch habitl to the tachlis. In other words, it's not about me. He's bottled. Moshe Rabbeinu is bottled to the tachlis. It's about Hashem. Me, I can't take people out. I can't do anything to help them. What am I going to do? I'm one guy in the whole world of Mitzrayim. What am I going to do? So Moshe Rabbeinu, the Torah tells us the greatest qualification that he had to take us out of the tzara was bittul tachlis. And Moshe Rabbeinu, therefore, Torah tells us that he had all of his wonderful traits. He had all the meetings, but the ikar was vahish Moshe anav ma'od is but. It's not about Moshe Rabbeinu, because if it's about Moshe Rabbeinu, one person can't do such a thing. Can't change the whole history of Mitzrayim with one person. So begins tachlis abit, vahish Moshe anav ma'od. So begins anova amitis, true anova. By they have bittul azeh, bittul kol hatzaros, and through his bittul, as the mani, as our leader, he was able to bring about a bittul of the tzaros, the goal also in Mitzrayim, to take us out of Mitzrayim, mikol hatumas v'sitrachra, and all the tumah and the sitrachra of this world. Mebchinas habittul azeh, himshach lanu eish haTorah, and because that one person, his koch habittul, was able to draw down the fire of Torah, the garish sitrachra, to drive away the sitrachra by klipas, shlei yizgaru b'yos achakach kanal. Okay, therefore, hochachu livrach min Mitzrayim. We had to escape. We had to run out of Mitzrayim. Macham shahir kaidem kabos Torah. B'sof kosof, we didn't yet get the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu was qualified, but we didn't have it. Mitzrayim lo hayev shlitin Torah. We didn't have the Torah Mitzrayim. Ki oisam le'eh gilulim. The place is filled with avodah zarah. I can't remember say kosher v'kavod ma'od lotzes from Mitzrayim. Therefore, it was very, very hard to get out of Mitzrayim. Ki b'chol pam, we didn't have the Torah. Everybody knows that the Rizal said that when Hashem took us out in a hurry. Why? Because we're on the 49th Sharatun, right? We're already with. And if we go to the 50th, then there's no return. We're finished, we're fine. But the Racham HaKodesh says that in our goals right now, we're way below 50. We fell much lower than 50. And the chiluk is, what? That we have the Torah. We have the Torah. We have a way of fighting with that. We have a way of curing these problems. But in Mitzrayim, they didn't have that. They didn't have the Torah. So Moshe was trying so hard to tell them, it's not about us. It's not about us. There's a punishment. There's a Kodesh Baruch Hu. We have to mevakal ourselves to the tachlis. We have to have the eyes of visionaries to see beyond. Stop crying. Stop living in this dehabochen. Stop living in the field of crying, of tears, which is only stuck on looking at things the way they are right now in your life. We have to connect to the tzaddik. That's Moshe Rabbeinu. We have to connect to him because he has the eyes of the state soaking with the tzaddik outside the garden, who sees what's going on and is trying desperately to help everybody to be mevatel themselves to the truth, to the tachlis. That's what the tzaddik does. That's the Baal Hasad. Ki yadilam shmo yisborach. Moshe Rabbeinu came and said, "This is Hashem's name." The Heir Leim Or Ha'in Seif, and he illuminated their lives with the infinite light of God. The Lindom Lizdabik Lizbat, Moshe Rabbeinu was teaching them how to be misdabik to Hashem, how to be mevatel themselves to this world, to the tachlis. That just like we see, that it's very hard to sustain that bittul. So Moshe Rabbeinu would get them to a certain place, but then the Egyptians would always make worse xavers, and life became more bitter. And the nature of human being is he can't be like that, like Moshe Rabbeinu. He can't stay in such a place for too long. And we didn't have the Torah. So when we have the Torah, so we have a way of constantly recharging and refueling with the chiyas, chadshis, and chidush Torah. But they didn't have the Torah. So everything's on Moshe Rabbeinu's shoulders. Bittul can't be forever. Bittul goes back and forth. There are good days, there are bad days. It's very hard. Hashem stepped in and he said, okay, I'm giving you a preview of the tachlis. And all of a sudden Hashem blew away all of nature and took all of Am Yisrael, like on Kanfei Nishar, out of that whole matzav of Golus. So it's the night of watching Shimurim lost of Lavav. In other words, he gave all of Bnei Yisrael an unbelievable vision, a sudden, powerful vision of Tachlis, of Hashem Echad. like we say in the whole Seder is like that, Zugil Shechina, Gilui Shechina, what they experience, which they weren't ready for, but they experienced. When Shekosu Vavarti B'Eretz Mitzrayim, the Targum of his Galesi, I revealed myself. V'chamuva b'kavanas ad shemigar lehel orad naflu v'meza kol b'chayim Mitzrayim. So all the b'chayim Mitzrayim, they all died. Shahi orvim l'sgaros l'sgar b'alidei zetavke. In other words, they were the strongest ones. The B'charis were the strongest of the side of the Sitrach. And they were all killed. Because the B'charis couldn't survive. Such a gilui, Shechina that took place, such a gilui of the Tachlis. The whole night. Shehi Lel Shimur. Ashnes Batal Koach HaSitracha. So like just Mitzrayim was just was completely eliminated from the picture. Then the job is run away, run out, and they ran. Because everybody knows you only get a certain amount of time until you snap out of the bittul state, and then you become frightened again. You could only hold on to that for so long. Therefore, they were told, "Okay, let's go, move," and they all start running. But it can't be forever. Because then remember that once the bittul is over, that time of bittul is over, then the karkas of the sidrach come even stronger and stronger. Like when we wake up in the morning, that we're attacked by the ruach tumah after the bittul of the night. So too, this was the danger. And that's not what happened. The Mitzrayim all went crazy, chased after. We thought the Mitzrayim was already destroyed. We thought the Mitzrayim was already finished. There's nothing to worry about. All of a sudden, it came like with more energy, more force. And that's what happened. So there was a bittul of Tachlis. Moshe took us up. We were in such an unbelievable place. Hashem made all the nisim, and we were running out of Mitzrayim. But then you see, like a short time later, it started to crack. We're not happy with the accommodations. So like we lost that bittul of Tachlis. And the Mitzrayim are chasing after us. We didn't even have the Torah to help us to mevatla ourselves to the Tachlis. The only way to mevatla ourselves b'shleimus is through chidush Torah and simcha. Because through Torah, remember, we're able to tap into the rishimu of the experience of bittul for our learning. Because when we're learning, we're connecting to the Tachlis. The Torah is the Tachlis. The Torah is what it means to be batal al Tachlis. But we didn't have the Torah then. Therefore, when that happens, then you wake up, all the karchis of the sidrach of Paro, our mom's going crazy. Like in the morning, when we're attacked, and we have to wash our hands negalas, because we have to use the koch of Torah to wash our hands. So we were attacked by Mitzrayim, ad hayam, to the ocean, to the Yamsuf. Therefore we were in great danger. Paro took a tremendous army. And that number means Sheish Meos is a significant number. We're not going to go into it right now, but like Shishimibro and Sheish Meos doesn't make a difference for now. The point is that Paro brought all of the kaiches of the Sidrach and all of the Dina. Because we already post Bittul. We were no longer in that place of Bittul. We were just frightened, like what did we do? What are we doing here? We were in big trouble. They're gonna destroy us. We were in terrible trouble. So we could have been destroyed, but Hashem Rachman is because of the Schosavos and Moshe Rabbeinu. Because there is such an honor. So Hashem split the water, al smach, the Torah that we're going to get soon. He gave us like an advance. That's why we went through the water. the water of Yam Suf is the inyan of the Mayim, of Ein Mayim El Torah. So in the Yam Suf, by Kriyas Yam Suf, we also had murdic experiences of Bittul Al-Tachas, and even what Shifra Leon, even a maid servant had such Bittul Al-Tachas. This is the Mayim, the water of Torah. By Dezeh, Baruch Hu HaMayim HaGashmiyim, so the physical water all moved away. And they went through the water. HaMitzriyim, Nitbu Behem, the Egyptians were drowned. In all of that, they were drowned. They were destroyed by them. So the Egyptians were destroyed by the Negel Vasser of Am Yisrael. The Yam Suf was like Negel Vasser. And we had to cross through. And the Egyptians, and the water of the Yam Suf washed the Egyptians away. That was the Negel Vasser. Without Torah, because Hashem gave us an advance, because we're going towards the Torah. And the Schus Ovus and Moshe Rabbeinu, so we went. So the whole ocean is now destroying the Koiches of Tumah. That's what happens in the morning when we wash Negel Vasser, where the waters of Torah destroy the Koiches of Tumah. So the whole Mitzrayim was washed away with that Negel Vasser, with the Ke'ilu, Hashem's Baruch is washing Negel Vasser. That's what happened. HaKol b'Koich HaTorah Sh'asidin l'Kavu, Shi b'chinas Mayim l'Kanal. All this is the Koich of Torah. Sif Hey. V'achshav b'Golus Seidin. V'achshav b'Golus Seidin. Aruch Hamar Hazeh. And Evan says in how long in Bitter Golus. Kosher Yoisim Megolus Mitzrayim. Yeah. Kosher Yoisim Megolus Mitzrayim. It's more difficult than the Golus of Mitzrayim. Mikol HaGolius, from all Golias. And Rav Nosson died a long time before the Holocaust. And he already said this. From all the Golias. Ki al HaGolus Hazeh Nema B'Teiret Peloi. It says Nechem that we went down Teret Peloi. Peloi means like a wondrous love is down, the wonder, how we fall to such a low place. Wherever the Psukim of Chazal talk about the Golas that we're in right now, this last Golas, they all are mafligim, they say terrible things, big things about the bitterness of this last Golas. And because of the terrible bitterness of the Golas that we're presently in, which at the beginning of time is alluded to in the word Tahom. But first it's so avo choshech al pnei tam. So you know so avo bavel and madai. Choshech is Yovan, and Tahom is now. Edom, that's the Golas we're in right now, is Tahom. Tahom is like no end. It's bottomless. And we really, the Fi Arichas Miras HaGolas L'Hai Efshel L'Soivlai, we really wouldn't be able to continue. Lulei Hashem Shahaya Lanu Shehekim Refuah L'Makeh, if not for the Hashem's Baruch gave us a refuah, a way of being able to make it through all of these years. A refuah to offset the terrible infection of Golas. Shekva Zachin L'Kavol Zatar B'Maimon HaSinai Aleph. We have the Torah. The Gamach Ein Dor Yosem, Hashem's Baruch Sholech Leim Tzadikim V'Dolim L'Roim, and Hashem always sends us great Tzadikim. Shemamshich Nalenu B'Chinas HaOris HaOr Ein Sof, like Moshe Rabbeinu, who remind us that we're Jews, and help to lift us up to a place to be Botel Al Tachlis. Umelamdem Osam His Batlei Lo Yisbarach B'Chol Pam. There's the whole Torah of Hashem is this Nakuda, and how to see the world. To see the world is not to see the world by what it looks like on the outside, but to see it from that perspective. Ein Od Levadai. But everything is a Lukus, and to be Botel Al Tachlis. Ubefrat Beis Torah Achmalos Lan V'Hayikar, Mashem Mamshich Lanu Chidushay Torah Nefloim Ma'od. And the tzaddikim have revealed and brought down to us Chidush Torah Lefloim Ha'od. That when we learn these Chidush Torah the Tzaddikim, they take us to a place beyond this world, and we're able to manage Lulei Saros Chashashu as Avatibam. But because of the Torah, we have such Shashum of the next world, of the Tachlis, through learning Torah. Shebezei Mechayin Ayisa. And with these Torahs, the Tzaddikim are Mechayas. V'nois von Koyach Lamed Kenegdam Levatlom Kshemizgabim Mizgarim Achakach V'yoysa. And for these Torahs that we receive from the Tzaddikim, we're able to be mevatel ourselves to the Tachlis, and to be mevatel all of our enemies. Kibul Pam mevatel Oisam Eidei Torah Hakadosh Shekras Achim Lekabel Moshe Rabbeinu Mishal Eidei Chidushim and the Flam Shechitzu Tzaddikim Adom Shchaldor Bechinas Zois Nechamasi Va'ani Ki Imroscha Chisa. This is my nechama and my misery and my poverty. Ki Imroscha, because your teachings, Hashem, your Torah, Chisani, Chiyasni, give me life. Only that. From that I have life. From that I remember that I'm a Jew, and I'm able to move out and sort of tachlis, and I'm able to be Bayreach when Hatzaros. That doesn't mean that Tzaros don't happen. Unfortunately, that Tzaros, but I'm able to be Bayreach when Hatzaros, to go to a different place. But of all that Hashem's work left us, He gave us the Torah Har Sinai, He gave us the Tzaddikim, He also gave us the Golas for the last stretch, which has been a long time. So Hashem's work gave us two gifts: the gift of Purim and the gift of Chanukah. That's what we have: Chanukah, Purim and Chanukah. Zeh b'chinas hadlakas ner Chanukah. Shmatisyohu Bona, Chol HaTzadikim Shabayis HaHador, Zochel LeBittel Hanal B'Shlem. That the Matisyohu and the Chashonoim, all the Tzadikim then, were zoichet to come to this place of Bittel, as we learned earlier, the tremendous Mesiras Nefesh, to close their eyes to the impossibility of their situation. Ad Shem Shichu Achakach, He'or Gedol Me'erishimu Hanal. That the few Tzadikim of that generation, because most of the Jews were far away, the few tzaddikim were able to be mamshach, to draw down a tremendous light from the Rishimu of Bittul HaTachlis into this world. Shebechinas Kabbalah Satorah, Shaydezeh Gabra Malchus Akum, which by Purim, was Kima V'Kibbutz, a whole new Kabbalah Satorah, with its Chadshus, right? By Purim. Shaydezeh Gabra Malchus Akum, Harishor Chanal, we were able to defeat the enemy. Megadol ha'ar azois, zochul lahamshach l'dayus ha'ar gedol b'chol shana, v'yom ha'hem b'zman hazeh. And not only that, but they were able to bring down such an ar of the Rishimu of the Bittul HaTachlis that to this day, every single year, beginning with Chafei Kislev, Chanukah is by Yom ha'hem b'zman hazeh. There's that ar, that Rishimu was Mizgala again. Not the old one, but there's a chadshus that comes from that or of Chanukah, of the first one. The Kovul Lonu Shmanas Yimei Chanukah Elu. And they were masakin for us the 8 days of Chanukah. Which the number 8 means B'chlal Bittul HaTachlis. V'tiknu lahaduk b'hem ner Chanukah. And the masakin we should like the ner Chanukah. Zoisa had loka kedosha, because this holy lighting that we do, hu b'chinas hamshachas ha'or v'hazricha shel harishimu me'habittel shemisham kabbalas haTorah. Because near mitzvah v'Torah, we're able to tap in to the light, to the or of the rishimu of the bittul of Matisyo and the Chashmonaim and all the tzaddikim of all the generations. Shon Kabbalas HaTorah is kinei mitzvah v'Torah. Shaydezem is garbim kineged kol hakam aleinu. We have the strength to stand up to all those who come against us. Shem is garbim b'yosef v'yosef v'chal pam, who attack us with even more and more and more. every single time. Like two people are wrestling with each other. And as we learned earlier, that when Reuven sees that Shimon is starting to win, then Reuven is mischazik. His adrenaline gets going. He gets even stronger, and he fights even harder. So, Dafka, when we come out of that state of bittul, there's that tremendous hisgarbus of the dinim of the Sitra Achad. That's why one of the reasons why the Torah of Chanukah has a special masikas. The Torah of Chanukah in the Rishayim and the Achronim and the Chassidish Sfarim is a masikas that you don't have by any of the other. For those who learn this from, you know what I'm talking about. There's a masikas of Chanukah that you don't have by any of the other. There's no such thing by the other. The Torah is a Torah with such ischachis, such masikas, such a chiyas. The Torah of Chanukah, the Torahs of Chanukah, they have a certain chiyas and masikas. The whole Torah is sweet and filled with chiyas. Everything in Torah. But Chanukah Torah is murdered, the masikas and the ischachis, and how much there is. Chanukah. There's the Chidush Torah of Chanukah, which is such a strong bishim from the bittul al tachlis of what happened back then by the Chashmonaim. Shubichus had lokas near Chanukah. There's them is Gabrim Aleim Kanal. We're able to be Mizgab Aleim Kanal. And that's why when we're bottled al tachlis, I was just talking to one of my children about this, because she was so overwrought and upset about what happened in the United Nations the other day, because everybody is. That Obama had his last opportunity to stick it to the Jews. That's what he did. We're going to see that what's going to be the end of that verse. Mamish took his last opportunity to give it to the Jews. So everybody's what's going to be. Such a terrible thing. So my answer to that is a failure. What's going to be? Let me see what it's going to be. It's going to be very, very good. It's going to be such a good that we never ever would have imagined what's going to be. As of this morning, Netanyahu was saying we're going to now build a few extra 100 apartments in East Jerusalem. That's the first good thing that's happened. Good for him. The Jews should have pride in who they are, and not to be karbish to these anti-Semites, to these mishkasim, to give in to such a thing, and to God forbid become depressed with such a thing, but to change our ways because of that. Jews are going to become stronger because of this, because there are Jews that wake up from such a thing. How could it be such a thing? How could it be such a thing? And all the things that are going on right now, what's going to be here with Trump, and these interesting things that are happening now. There was never such a thing in the history of America, of the world, such a strange thing that's happening. So it's Purim, it's Chanukah, it's Purim. One day, every day there's something else. It's a Yom Tov. Something going on. One day is Purim, the next day is Chanukah, it goes back to Purim, Chanukah. It's unbelievable what's happening. And therefore there are 8 days of Chanukah. I want you to send the tape to Obama. Here. To draw down the Kabbalah Torah, the Chidush Torah from the Shorish. Shubachin is Yom HaShmini, because the highest thing is Yom HaShmini. Shubachin is Bina, because when we count from Malchus up, the 8th sphere is Bina. Kolu Misholish Rishaynos. Now Bina is part of the triumvirate of Keser, Chachma, and Bina. Keser, Chachma, and Bina. And Bina, the Sfarim say, is the shirish of Torah, where Torah comes from Bina. So the Yontif is 8 days they established. 8 is Bina. 8 means the Karach of Torah that's higher than this world. It means Bittul HaTachlis, that's 8. Ki Bina Liba. Bina is the Bechina of the heart. Levava Yovin, V'shav V'rapala. Levava Yovin, Bina is the heart. Shu Bechina Simcha, which is joy. Bechina as Nasata Simcha Belibi. Belibi means when a Jew has, not that the happiness is from something stamped from this world. It means Nasata Simcha Belibi, that the joy that a Jew could feel is from something beyond, from the Rishima, from the Torah, from Bittul HaTachlis. Shu Kli L'Kavos HaTorah, Shenimshot L'Torah Shiva Simei HaBinyan, that is brought down into the 7 days of creation. Shem B'chinas HaSheva Midas, that the 7 days, meaning Chesed, Gvur, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yisod, and Malchus. So Bina interfaces, Bina, which is Torah, the Rishima from Bittul HaTachlis, from beyond this world, is interfacing with the lower spheres of Chesed till Malchus. Shem B'chinas Klal HaTorah, which is the entirety of Torah, because it says in Mishnah, Chotzva Amudea Shiva Kidu. Shiva Kidu. 7. Zeh B'chinas Zayin. Have it? Zeh B'chinas Chalon Parnel. Rav Nosson does here. Now we come into the parasha. The parasha is Miketz. He says this is the Indian of Paro's dream. Shetikun Aidei Yosef Shepasores. The tikkun of the dream is because of Yosef's interpretation. Shekaron Zayis Parasha Mechanike that we read at the time of Chanukah. He Paro Ra Beis Shein, because Paro saw while he was asleep. Shenimshach Mebchinas Bittul Canal, where there's a connection to something beyond this world while he was sleeping. Ra'az Et Sheva Paros Haros Boilim Sheva Paros HaTaros. So he sees the seven skinny cows swallowing up the 7 good ones. Shubchina says Gabrus Hara Ala Taif, which appears like what? Ki'ilo, the Ra, the bad cows are swallowing up the good cows. Meaning Ki'ilo, evil is going to be victorious. That which is bad is swallowing up that which is good. That's what it looked like in the dream. Hainu is Gabush Hashem Midas was Hashem Midas HaTayros, which looks like Chas V'Shalom, the 7 Midas, in other words, Chesed and all that in bad way, used for evil, is going to be Misgaber Chas V'Shalom on the 7 Midas HaTayros, Chesed with first in holiness. Ad Asher V'Tavona El Kirbena L'Noida Kibor El Kirbena. They're all going to be eaten up, and you won't be able to tell they're eaten up. Why? This Paro's dream. Ki kol kach misgaber is a sitrach b'chol pa, because the sitrach gets stronger and stronger when Bittul HaTachlis ends, when it's over. Then the cut of the sitrach gets so strong. Actually, rois lashkiach is adam b'chol pa kilo lo ra toiv ma'il. It wants to swallow up any good in your life. The way the Yetzirah, the way the sitrach is, when it gets stronger, is that it gives you the impression that your whole life is lousy, that there was never any toiv. So it was the bad cows swallow up the good cows, till you feel that my life is only bad. Because that's what it says, you couldn't recognize at all that there were ever any good cows. Everything was swallowed up. That's how the situation causes a person to become cut off. By giving him the impression that everything is bad. Kilo loy roa toiv me'olok, he never had a good day in his life. Afa pisha betchila beis habitl roa rakas at-toiv, even though of course he saw Toiv in the beginning of that. There was Bittul, the person sees good. Shehem b'chinas sheva paras hatovos, which Paro saw also at the beginning of the dream. Achroa should take of achkash somach la'kitzai, da'hain v'shemaskil loshem ha'bittul. So when he was about to wake up, which means when he was coming back from that Bittul, chayzim is gab ma'achkash sheva paras haros. So now the seven bad cows Shem hara she'oy mizgar b'yoser. Achakach are very strong, like you wake up in the morning. All the tumah comes to attack. So all the bad cows, the sick cows, they come now to attack as he's about to wake up from being asleep. From bittul tachlis. The shenismach is garbus apros roast lakitza. K'mashikosu sham umarei and ra. Ooh, they look terrible. That's right before he woke up. Because then right when you're about to wake up, all the kochas of tumah come after you. V'chein v'chol parasha hanikanal. V'tikuna de Yosef. And the tikkun is for Yosef Atzadik. Shezochel l'tachlis abitul b'shleimus karov. Because Yosef Atzadik is bittul mamish. Yosef Atzadik's eyes are closed to this world. To see beyond this world. He's deep tzadik. Bittul b'shleimus karov. B'bchinas, when it says Ben Peiras Yosef, Ben Peiras, a very charming, beautiful child. Ben Peiras alei ayin. Chazal say alei ayin means what? Does it mean alei ayin? Alei ayin. She Yosef stronger than him. She Yosef became tzaddik emes. Because Yosef is the tzaddik emes. Oila alei ayin. He's able to overcome and to defeat the ayin. What's the ayin? The eye means the ayin ra of this world. How? And how is he able to defeat the eye? By closing the eye. Kihu soisem einov mechezu tahai alma. He has the ability to be oila ayin, to overpower the eye that gets stuck on this world. He's stronger than the eye of this world, the ayin ra, that sees only the world in front of him, and he's oila ayin. He's able to see, like in the state so from the field of vision, to see beyond this world. Yosef Atzadik, this world, he closes his eyes to this world. I feel like you find nothing. Therefore he's oila eye. He rises above the eye that sees only this world. And he's able to close his eyes to this world. He rules over the eye. Because anybody who looks, Rabbi Nosson says, anybody who pays too much attention to this world, then you're under the control of the eye of this world. Then you just fall under the control of this world. Because then the eye, meaning this world, will control you. Because you're drawn by your eyes. It's and here's Madrega. The Torah says, don't go by the eyes of this world. Don't let the world trick you and fool you. Because then your eye is going to see bad things and you're going to want them. The Jew has to be in control of his eyes. And rule over his eyes. Which is like Yosef Atzadik. Not to take this world seriously. To be able to go past that. Which is the need bittul hatachlis. Okay. Therefore Yosef is the one who's able to eradicate all of the disgrace of Am Yisrael and all of the embarrassment. What's the disgrace? The disgrace is when you have a Jew who's a descendant of Avram Avinu, of the Ovis, and the Emos, and he's looking at disgusting pictures. That's a disgrace when he gives it to his tithers. There's no bigger cherpa than that a Jew can't control his eyes. He can't control himself. Yosef Atzadik is the one who's mevatel all the charfas and all the bushes, because the tzaddik is the one who's in control, and he helps us to become in control of ourselves. And in doing that, we're able to erase all of the bushes and all the charfas of the Jew not having control. Because when Yosef Atzadik was born, his mother said, "Osaf Elokim es charpasi." The word Yosef, Osaf, Hashem has gathered in all of my embarrassment. Because now I had a kid. Hashem gathered in all of my shame, my embarrassment. But the deeper meaning of it is that through Yosef Atzadik, the shame and the embarrassment of the Jewish people can be gathered in, can be removed. Because the greatest shame and embarrassment is that we're not in control of ourselves, of our taivas, of our desires. And that Tzaddik teaches us to control our eyes, our taivas, to gather in the embarrassment and the shame. Balkain, Zoche Yosef the Tachlis Habitul B'Shleimus. If Yosef Tzadik was like the Tachlis Habitul B'Shleimus. By the Zeh, Posar V'Tikein Chaloim Paro, and by that he was able to interpret and be Masaki in the dream of Paro. The Higra Toiv al Hara, and he turned everything around. That the Toiv should be stronger than the Ra, not that the bad cows, the sickly cows are going to win. Toiv is victorious. Sheva Shnei Hasova al Sheva Shnei Hara. The 7 years, and he came up with an eitzah, how that the 7 good years will save the Am Yisrael and the whole world. The Toiv will be stronger than the 7 bad years. That's what he did. He's masakin everything. V'zeh b'chinas Yosef Yoshis Yod Alei Necha. That's why Yosef Tzadik put his hand on Yaakov Avinu's eyes when it came time for Yaakov Avinu to leave the world. Yodo Davka b'chinas Kavos HaTorah, which means receiving the Torah from Kal Me'arishim. She'ika Kavoli b'chinas Yadayim, b'chinas Ushnei Luchas Abus Shtei Yodai, with the power of Torah, the Rishima of Bidl Alatachis. B'chinas Ksuv Be'etz Belukim, the Torah is written with Hashem's hand, his finger. Nor b'Torah Kanal, Amar Rabbeinu. Hashem's going to make a circle of tzaddikim with a hand, with the finger, which is Torah. Ki ikar tikkun ha'idei Torah, because the tikkun that we could be barach from all the bilbulim and all the tzaras, and we're able to enter into that place with our eyes closed beyond this world comes through Torah. Ki ikar tikkun ha'idei Torah shemekad ma'achakach. Torah megina alaynayim. The Torah protects our eyes. Shafilik shechayz me'abitl, even when we're not in a state of bitl, lo yizgar b'sitrachva, that the sitrachva should not be able to control our eyes. Because we have the yad. Yosef, the tzaddik, Yoshis Yoda, is able to put his hand over our eyes. That we shouldn't look at the world. Yosef puts his hand on the eyes of Yaakov, which means the Jewish people. Mitzvahs Hashem Borim B'yiras Einayim. Then instead we learn Torah through the Torah, and Chidush Torah, our eyes are illuminated, are shining with the light of Torah. So Yosef Yoshis Yoda Alei Necha, Yoda Davka, Einecha Davka. That Yosef is mamshach this bechin of Torah, Yadayim, which started to protect the eyes of the Jewish people. So that even when we descend from it, we come back. And our eyes are opened again to this world. He is battle, the Torah will have the power of Torah, the koyach of Torah, and Chedush Torah to hold us in that way of seeing things in an accurate, clear way. Because the tzaddikim and the kosher Jews, when they come back from bittul and they open their eyes, they don't pay any attention to the narishkeit of this world. They don't get fixated on the havli elam hazeh to look at. They guard their eyes. The Torah they receive from bittul. So Yosef Yoshis Yodai Aleinach. And that's the meaning of Yosef Yoshis Yodai Aleinach. Now we're going to stop here. The rest of the Torah here is going on tzitzis and tefillin, mostly on tzitzis. I don't know if we'll do it afterwards. Maybe we'll just do a little bit at the end. It talks about Kedush Yisrael, the Batal HaTachlis, and the meaning of Bechir Chavshis and tzitzis. And Mishnah, next month we'll run another I'm assuming everybody got mine already.